Charlie.
Sorry, smile. Charlie hit the roof. One shift, one.
At this point, I think she's milking it. It's been like 3 months, and every show is, this changes everything. You're not going to want to miss it.
Nick, if you were murdered, I would not stop until I figured out who did it.
I'm going to work with you to make this organization as transparent as possible, including during investigations, so that we restore trust in the FBI and the integrity.
This guy needs to go back to Vegas. And he was talking such a good game before he got the assignment of FBI director. He was going to reveal the truth about Jeffrey Epstein and everything all the way down. But guess what? Somehow this is hooked up, I believe, with one of our allies. And this may be why they cannot tell us the truth. But everything is going to be exposed. The Lord Almighty said that everything that you think that you've said in secret, behind closed doors, is going to be revealed. Everything said in the dark is going to come to the light. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just a matter of time. What I want to know is this guy passed away, or is he pulling a trick on all of us? And I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. I don't want Charlie to be this person that would even go in to a protection program for with the government to protect himself because the money was funny in TPUSA. And there's different proofs of that to protect him from possibly donors, especially overseas, may have been wanting to kill him. And they knew this. And so they faked his death. But you cannot come out with all the lies that we have caught you guys in. And just think, well, everybody's just going to believe us and we're just going to play this out. There is a guy named Tyler Robinson that may get the death penalty. They have not said that he cannot get the death penalty yet. Okay. Lance Twiggs. How many people do you know that has Lance Twiggs for a name? But if he does, God bless him, if that's really a person. But it's just not working. It's not working at all. They're full of it. I'm telling you now. But how does everyone collude together like that? I'll show you how. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you something that is so obvious. Nobody in their right mind is going to think that somebody is trying to kill them, which we learned through the text messages that went to Candace Owen, and show up to a open yard. And we've heard that Charlie Kirk was offered to go inside. I don't know if that's true or not true. But honestly, even if I was 31 years old and I thought someone might take me out because I was afraid that a certain country in the Middle East was angry with me, this is the last place I would go.
The kickoff for Charlie Kirk's 14-city tour was here in Orem, Utah, about 40 miles away from Salt Lake City at Utah Valley University. Thousands of people, mainly students, were gathering.
Guys, some people want to say that it was sort of like a pentagon shape. Excuse me, and that may be so. But I only see a portion of a pentagon shape. What I see more than anything else is a menorah. Like, that is the top of a menorah that this guy was sitting in. I mean, give me a break. This whole thing is a complete farce. There are some people that want to sit up here and say, Oh, especially the FBI director, that Indian that is from Las Vegas. I'm sorry, there's no excuse for what they're doing. They're being way, 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 way overly deceptive, and I'm not going to stand for it. They may think that they're going through a process in order to expose some bad guys, but they're becoming the bad guys themselves because of the deception. Okay, now, personally, I think Charlie Kirk is in a protective program. I think half of what we saw was AI, just bogus. What do you call it? CGI? Somehow they've edited things and I don't know, but they went to a very large length in order to produce this complete bullcrap. And if one thing's a lie, and you see 2 things that are a lie, 4 things you find them lying about, then the whole thing is a lie. Because they cry wolf. They're always crying wolf, and they're going to cry wolf too many times. They're going to pull false flags and psychological operations. And they're trying to do it to the point that they're making people angry, so people will turn on each other and they won't know who to trust. They're also doing it in order to completely confuse people from what is true and what is false. And, I'm not going to go along with something like that. I cannot stand up for my United States FBI, even if they think that they're doing it for a good purpose. There's no good purpose for complete deception to the public. Now, it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Even like I said, if I was 31 years old and I thought that a small country over the ocean might be trying to, through their agency, might be trying to take me out, the last place I would go would be Salt Lake City, Utah. That is 100% Zionist, and they have all kinds of technology. These guys, the latter day guys, are in space. They are into NASA. They are into satellites. They are in, I'm telling you. So when it comes down to the Freemasonic thing that they do, like I said in other videos, I don't completely understand secret societies. And there are reasons why there should be some secret societies, because they have to make plans that they cannot share internationally. I understand that. But from my understanding, which could be wrong, but from my understanding, they accept any religion into their organization. It doesn't matter if you are in what God you believe in, as long as you believe in God. Okay, in a God. And so you could be Islam and be in there. You could be worship Satan and be in there. So that would divide people enormously from the good guys who are trying to get to the truth, and the bad guys that are trying to deceive everybody. And at this point, I'm thinking we used to call them white hats and black hats, but at this point, I don't think there's possibly any white hats left in the organization, because it's completely dark and deceptive, and it's evil, and it's wrong. And I don't care if Charlie Kirk was in it. I don't care if Candace Owens was in it. I hope if Candace Owens was in it, she got out. I hope she did not take an oath and sign her life away before she got out. I know that she was confirmed as a Catholic. Now, you can't do both. I don't know about these days. Maybe Catholics accept the Freemasonic stuff. Maybe the Vatican is so full of Freemasonic stuff and always has been, and they only call themselves Catholic, whatever. But I don't know if this guy was actually killed. And I believe every word that Candace Owens says, except she said that she had a trusted source that told her that for sure Charlie went, this really did happen, that he went on to the great by and by in the sky. Okay. Now, who in the world, what source would she trust to tell her that? The only one I would trust would be George. Would have to tell me if I was Candace Owens. It would have to be George, because I wouldn't trust anybody else. But maybe she has a trusted source that said yes, he went to the great by and by. And if that's the case, then somehow it's this one of two things. They actually found a way to put AI out there. There's a complete cover-up. They're lying and have him in protective custody. Or, which is just as bad, if he went along with it, I'm sorry, it's wrong. Okay? Even if he's trying to save his life, to lie to the public and to shoot him in public is absolutely wrong. So, people want to say, like I was trying to say in the beginning, that people are only doing this for clicks and they're trying to get rich and all this stuff from their clicks. Well, that may be so with some, Cash Patel. But hey, I'm not monetized, and I might get monetized, but I'm not stupid enough to believe the trash that you guys are putting out. We know better than this. We know our law enforcement doesn't work like this. We know cameras cannot be taken down from the back and nothing be done to them about it. Talking about that Farnsworth person. Okay? We know that a 30-06 was not the gun. It did sound off, and there's such a thing as blanks that would make the same sound. That would make exactly the same sound. And we know that the wound, if Charlie did not come from a 30-06. We know that 100%. And so that's a lie. When Cox, the Governor Cox, says we got him, that's not how it works. You don't do it like that. When the wife goes up and says, I forgive him. That's what she said. I forgive him. It doesn't work like that, because you're not going to be able to forgive somebody when there's been no trial. You don't know if they're responsible for it or not. But you're going to say, that young man, I forgive him. What? What is wrong with you? It's sloppy? There's no way. There's no way the public believes you. The entire public does not believe you. A man does not drop his pants and say, I did it, and then later on tell a nurse at the hospital that he got paid to do that. You're full of it. You're so full of it. And you're going to tell me that a young man, is on trial that can get the death penalty if found guilty doing this? Then you're going to turn around and tell me, oh, Lance Twiggs, he got immunity because they want him to testify. What? Then all the video that you're showing us is completely bogus. It's completely bogus. If something actually did hit Charlie, why would his wife have to go out of the way to make a video with her Freemasonic rings on and go down to his hands that may or may not be fake, because after a body has been, they put the formaldehyde in them, they don't look the same at all. Their hands, their face, they don't look the same at all. But you notice she did not show his face. And when her head is turned and she's crying over the casket, It looks like a weave in her hair. It doesn't, I don't think Erica Kirk wears a weave, but that was awful. And why would you film that? It's just ridiculous. It is totally 100% ridiculous. And I can't stand Kash Patel. I liked him so much until he got in there, and he just makes me sick now. It's a Freemasonic farce. Either way it goes. That's how they all stick together. That's how they all lie and say the same thing. When the CIA does that, it's a complete lie. And you're making yourself look so bad to other countries. Like, you can't do no better than that? Seriously? Man, you're making our men in the military look bad. I want everybody to go over to Heavy Duty Country. He's got a lot of great information. Go over to Jesse on Fire. He's got a lot of great information. But to say that everybody's doing it because they're making money from clicks, the entire United States and South Korea and other places in the world want to know what happened to Charlie Kirk, because everybody knows that you guys are deceiving us. It's a lie, and it makes me so angry. It makes me so mad. You've been lying since 9/11 with the demolition of the towers. We know for a fact the Tower 7 was a demolition. That means probably the other two were also. Whether the airplanes hit or the airplanes didn't hit. Also at the Pentagon, that was not an airplane. I slowed that thing down and watched it over and over and over to make sure that was a missile. That was not an airplane. And it was probably purposely done. But you guys calling us conspiracy theorists, I mean, get out of here. Those words don't even affect us anymore. Call us anything. Call us conspiracy theorists. Call us racist. Call us anything you want to. It's not true. We have to put a hypothesis together in order to investigate. That's what you do. You question things.
Minutes before the shooting, video from Kirk's own X account shows an open space and a barrier between the tent and the students, with multiple security guards standing at the fence line. Police say there were 6 campus police officers there as well.
A lot of people, Utah, I'll tell you what.
Kirk was a rock star among young conservatives, largely because of events like this, meeting college students.
Now, right there, you do not see Rick Cutler in the picture at all. So what did he do? Just come walking up at the last minute? As they span over to Charlie's left, and they span the crowd, you don't see Rick Cutler at all. And then you see these clips with Rick Cutler there, and he's looking like he's standing, really sideways in a funny position, and it looks like he possibly could have shot him with a palm gun. In the video, it looks like you can see the little head of the palm gun in his hand, and it shows a little bullet coming out. Is that AI? Is that another distraction? Or did it actually take place? We don't know, but we do know that when Rick Cutler got over there behind these tables, he was smiling. If Charlie's dead and bleeding on the ground, why would the man be smiling? Tell me that. And now he's gone on a trip to another country somewhere. This is insane. And as I said, we can go all the way back to 9/11. Then they hit us with COVID-19. And now they think we're going to believe them about this crap too? Seriously?
Up close on campuses across the country. Police say roughly 3,000 people showed up for this one, all watching and listening as it happened. Kirk was answering a question about mass shootings.
Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Now, also, this guy that we just heard speaking, he was filmed standing over to the side before I think before Charlie came out. Who knows when it was? It was sometime during this fiasco. He's standing over there and he's practicing. Yeah, he's practicing. Putting his hands on his head like this and practicing as if this is exactly what he's going to do when Charlie gets hit. Okay? So it boils down to this, folks. Either they're covering up a murder or they're covering up the fact that they've put this man in protective custody for his own safety, because his whole thing might have been from the beginning to start TPUSA to see who the donors would be and catch them in their own. That very well could be. And then when the heat got too strong, do you honestly think that these people are going to turn their back on one of their own? You don't know them then. They're not going to turn their back on one of their own for anything. And they will go to any lengths to protect one of their own. So they're either doing that or they're covering up a murder by giving us all this bogus, ridiculous videos, AI or whatever. So they're either going to whatever length they have to go to in order to protect Charlie Kirk by pretending he's dead and giving us bogus films, or they're giving us the bogus films and they've killed him. So I don't know why some guy that went up and asked a question would be standing to the side and pretending that he's touching his head like, oh God, before it ever happened. We've seen that. Okay, let's go a little further.
Too many.
What's it say? Break? Great. Why is he talking about mass shooters? And so this is when he gets shot. Great. He goes, great. Okay.
Kirk is rushed into an SUV and taken to the hospital. Panic crowds ran as police jumped in.
And let's be advised, UVU in Orem has had an active shooter at the Charlie Kirk event. We're getting several calls. We're trying to get more information.
In the scramble after Kirk was shot, video taken from inside a building captures what appears to be someone running across a rooftop.
Keep in mind, folks, that a blank, when you shoot a blank in a movie, it will make a sound just like you shot the gun. That's why many of them said it sounded more like a 22 than it did a 30-06. Whatever, I don't know that much about it. But what I'm saying is, it's bogus. You don't pave over the place where somebody's been shot in 4 days. 4 days later, 2 days later, whatever it was. You don't pave it over. You don't cut the ground up 10 inches down and pave it over. All this is just crazy, 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 crazy. Now, Candace is either a white hat or she somehow got out without getting killed. Because once you're in there and you get information, they don't let you out. They don't just let you out of the org so you can go around and tell everybody what you know. They don't do that. Why have they left the burden on Candace Owen? The burden is supposed to be on Kash Patel. The burden is supposed to be on Governor Cox. The burden is supposed to be on the police that were covering that day. Butler and all of them, when they try to hit Trump, and then in the election for Trump, the only alternative that you had to vote for was Kamala Harris. The one that wanted abortion after the baby was born. It was okay to go ahead and take the baby out. in the 9th month, it was okay to go ahead and take the baby out. Trans this and trans that. They had nothing. They had no policy, and the policy that they did have was evil. Okay, they knew that nobody was going to vote for her, and they put Trump in different situations to make you feel like, no, we definitely got to get him in here. He's going to work for us, but now he's in there. Is he working for us or not? I don't know. I really don't know. Even the video of seeing the Haitians, you guys remember that? The Haitians under the bridge? I'm starting to wonder if that was all AI. When they had people running through the wall, I'm starting to wonder if that was AI. When they were busing people to New York, how do we know that they did that? And if, how do you go from thousands and thousands coming through every day or every week and to zero? Trump says zero. There's zero coming across the border. Really? Oh, really? How did that happen overnight? Tell me. Somebody tell me, please. How did that happen overnight? Well, I tell you how. They were lying to us in the first place. They were showing us AIs, but they're sworn to secrecy, right? They will lie. Even, what's his name? Mike Pompeo, he said that when he was in the CIA, when he was the director of the CIA, that they would steal and they would lie. He said so. Or was he an AI too, just saying that wasn't really him? No, I think that was really him. But this whole thing is making us so angry. We don't care about getting clicks. We want the truth. And if you guys don't break this down to the truth, you're going to have to admit your cover up in it, or come back to the public and say, hey guys, I'm sorry that we had to do this to you, but we had to do this to you in order to get rid of the trash that was in the FBI, and the trash that was in the Pentagon, and the trash of people that were working against the United States out of our 3-letter agencies. You're going to have to do that, or we're not going to forgive you. We're not. Especially with this last go round with Charlie C.K. Kirk. Not happening.
Rooftop is this building called the Losi Center, less than 200 yards away from the spot where Kirk was hit. If that runner was the shooter, he would have been positioned about here. From this shot, you can see the rooftop of the Losi building is pretty easy to access. It's connected to another building by an elevated walkway.
I don't believe there was that guy. I don't believe he was running across the roof.
After the shooting shows police tape on the roof of the Losi building.
I don't believe it.
12:36 p.m., an officer describes a possible suspect.
He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle. Is on top of the building on the far north side, just east of the library, wearing jeans, black shirt, black vest.
6 hours later, Utah Valley University issued an all clear, saying the threat is over.
That sound,
the 31-year-old father of 2 young children, did not survive.
Was a blank shot.